Stock futures ticked up on Wednesday, as investors held out hope that the Federal Reserve is done raising benchmark interest rates. Traders also tried to build on already strong gains for the month. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average ticked higher by 109 points, or 0.3%. S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq 100 futures added about 0.5% and 0.6%, respectively. General Motors shares popped more than 7.2% in early morning trading after the company announced a $10 billion buyback. The automaker also raised its dividend and reinstated its guidance. The major averages notched modest gains Tuesday. The S&P 500 advanced 0.1%, while the Nasdaq Composite added about 0.3%. The Dow inched higher by 0.2%. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller said on Tuesday that current monetary policy appears to be sufficiently restrictive to cool inflation back down to the central bank's 2% target. The comments helped fuel investor optimism and buoyed stocks. Markets are already far ahead of where Waller shifted the Fed to. Vital Knowledge founder and president Adam Crisafulli said on CNBC's Closing Bell Overtime on Tuesday. Now it's just a question. Is the Fed going to start pushing back aggressively again about rate cuts that are expected for next year? And I think there's a lot of important economic data we'll get between now and the next meeting, he added. I think investors are just waiting to see clarity on that front. Indeed, Fed funds futures pricing suggests a chance that the central bank could cut rates as early as next spring, according to the CME FedWatch Tool. The major averages are on track for strong monthly gains. The S&P 500 and Dow are up 8.6% and 7.2%, respectively, in November. The Nasdaq had climbed 11.1%. On Wednesday, traders will have an eye out for second preliminary gross domestic product data for the third quarter, as well as the wholesale inventories report for October. On the earnings front, Hormel Foods and Dollar Tree are expected to issue quarterly results before the opening bell. Salesforce will post earnings after the close. Shares of cybersecurity firm Okta slipped 1.5% in Wednesday's pre-market trading session. The company reported a beat on earnings and revenue for the third quarter, however, posting 44 cents per share in earnings on $584 million in revenue. Analysts polled by FactSet had called for 30 cents per share in earnings on $560.6 million in revenue. On Tuesday, Okta said in a message that a hack on its customer support system led to all customer data being stolen, driving shares lower. The stock has plummeted 10.9% this quarter, but is still up nearly 6.3% for the year. General Motors shares popped more than 5% in the pre-market after the auto giant announced a $10 billion share buyback program. The company also raised its dividend and reinstated its 2023 guidance.